We saw Francis Ford Coppola's magnum opus.
Yes.
Megalopolis.
Megapoopolis. Megastopolis.
That was a very sincere laugh. I should.
I got you with the pun, baby.
So for the listeners who don't care about films, Megalopolis is...
I'd say not a film, so go see it because it stretches the bounds of film.
Yeah, so it's like been in the news because this was supposed to be Francis Ford Coppola's like his big work.
Yes, he's going for it.
Yeah, he sold his vineyard business to self-fund it.
Yeah,
and
which you have to respect at least.
Yeah.
Like that's what, if you're a crazy old rich person,
right?
Like spend your money on vanity art projects.
Sure,
much better. You know, I guess you could do some mosquito nets if you're not giving it to mosquito nets and doing some stupid EA shit.
Yeah,
then yeah, make a cuckoo little art project.
Make a cuckoo little art project. Go crazy.
Get some gaff for some work. Hollywood's drying up.
Right.
You know, give some grips something to do for a few months.
Yeah. For a cool 130 million.
Yes.
Yeah. Create some jobs.
I would say you did not see that on the screen. The $130 million.
Well, so Francis Ford Coppola, he's a prolific director. Certainly earned his reputation as one of the greats. People are in for a surprise. It's been critically panned. Except
for like Richard Brody in The New Yorker, who is always going to have the contrarian take. If you know what the mainstream opinion is,
Richard Brody,
100% of the time, Richard Brody he likes the most random shit. He loved Barbie. You get Barbie an amazing review.
Richard Brody is in fact a beta tester of workflow.
yeah, exactly.
He's all in
just
on
a contrarian. I see him walking around the Upper West Side sometimes. He looks like an adjunct, like a homeless adjunct professor, just wandering the Upper Side looking for.
Have you ever thought about approaching him?
No, you just look at me like bleary eyed, like what? What is it? I only want to talk about Romer films. Who are you? Don't look at me in the eye.
You're such a nerd.
I am a nerd. I went to
that's like you're recognizing
I know
critics of publications
that's
on
true.
the street.
That's true. My wife, sometimes I'll recognize someone and she'll be like, why the fuck do you know what that person looks like? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I know what Ben Lerner looks like. But I don't know.
You're like, I read Topeka School and loved it. And I
studied the book jacket for moments like these. So, yeah, the movie...
It was a box office bomb, too.
Yeah, he lost $130 million.
Yeah, there was a lot of... I mean, when it premiered at Cannes, he had trouble distributing it because no one wanted to buy it.
Well, I left the movie and being like, oh, maybe sometimes studio notes are good. You know how directors always complain about studio notes, like they don't understand the artists and they're trying to make it too commercial. It's like maybe a few, like there was no studio, it was just him, a madman in his sandbox. It could have used anyone being like, hey, this guy can stop time, but it's kind of irrelevant to the plot. Actually, maybe you think Sofia Coppola, Roman Coppola, they both great screenwriters.
Yeah,
his children. You think they would have given it a once over and be like, yeah, maybe some narrative arc and structure would serve you well, Papa.
But Sofia Coppola is saving that juice for her Sundance, for her art house film. About
she's not
like
giving that.
About a dad who's lost his artistic edge, and Thanksgiving, and you're with his siblings. Like, do we tell dad? Like, I don't know if we should tell dad.
Yeah, like that sounds like a Noah Baumbach movie. Actually, I think that's Noah Baumbach's new movie.
Oh, actually. I mean, Noah Baumbach, Sofia Coppola, it's all the same.
Yeah, they're all friends. Okay. So he spent $130 million. He went for it in this movie, which is,
now
I can give him credit for that.
I don't really know what to make of the film still, because as I was watching it, I was confused for most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that it is so unlike anything that I've ever seen. And it was fun. We were laughing for the... I don't know if we were laughing for the right reason collectively as an audience.
I frequently did have no idea whether because the audience I was with too, we were also laughing and surprised.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure. It's like, is this intentional? Is it like The Room, where it's like bad by accident? But I think by the end, I was like, no, I think there's some genuinely like
good
weird,
laughs in this.
good laughs that are intentional. Some weird line readings when Adam Driver's like, "Get your butt to the club."
Like, so the film, it has Adam Driver, who
has a great cast,
amazing cast. Listeners, if you haven't seen it, you have to go see it, because every line reading was just batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there was no normal line reading, which as an actor, I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I understand what acting is now. Like, there is no correct way.
There's no correct way.
Like, it would be the equivalent of me being like, mid-podcast, let's just say like, hey, are the levels okay? Hey, Dan, do you think the levels are okay?
Yeah.
Like, every line is that.
Is that, well, I also wonder, was it an editing decision, or like, and they just like intentionally made the performances seem so off kilter? Like, in American Psycho, like the director told Willem Dafoe to do one scene. He's the detective. She told him, like, do one scene where you suspect him. To like do a few takes where you suspect him, and do a bunch of takes where you have no idea he's the killer. And then she edits back and forth between those, so you as an audience are never sure. So it's like, okay, maybe there's that consistency, but I think it was just like, the text is so insane. People are quoting Shakespeare. There's some shit in Latin sometimes. There's like Marcus Aurelius, like.
But that can only work for an actor as talented as Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Whereas for 80% of Hollywood, they're like, okay, got it. So in one take, I'll do it the way I'll do it. In the other take, I'm going to raise my eyebrows a little bit more.
Well, I thought
fight the force of Botox.
For this movie, the actors who tried to play it kind of the most straight, like, were the weakest. Like Natalie Emmanuel, is that her name? She's the who played the daughter of. She's in Game of Thrones. Yes, she's like the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah,
I thought she was
entitles me. Yes,
I thought she was really horrendous. She's like, I've actually always thought she's like very wooden and robotic. She feels like very Gen Z.
The Natalie Emmanuel heads are going to be very. They're going to stop subscribing to the pod after this.
I'm sorry. I've always found her like really stiff. It's like the most Gen Z, like sincere theater kid. Like no affect. Just like, I find it really, really empty performances. But she is.
Yeah.
I get why she's in the movie
for sure,
because she's among the most beautiful people on earth. So
wow, Dan, you're just saying that the only worth of a female actor is her beauty?
I'm saying Aubrey Plaza was great, and she had as Wow Platinum, real name.
One of the biggest takeaways that I had from the film is I have even more respect for Adam Driver than I ever could have.
Yeah, he carries it. Because he commits.
Like you said, I think because he adapts to the overall weirdness tonality. Like his line readings are all batshit crazy. So collectively, as an audience, as we're watching, no one was really laughing unintentionally at Adam Driver, and I think that is like a testament to his ability as an actor, because in this movie
he's still engrossing.
He's still in it, and nothing feels like off place in any of his performances.
It doesn't make it. The movie makes no sense.
The movie makes no sense.
It's a mess. It's like a real,
but it's fun
tonal mess. I missed Shia. I missed Shia LaBeouf. He's so good in this movie. I know he's the he did some domestic abuse. Not good. On the record, Middlebrow does not support
Shia LaBeouf.
We
support Shia LaBeouf, but we do not
support domestic abuse. But
he's good.
He does have the goods.
He's good.
He commits in such a way. He's like really in it. You like forget he's acting.
And you're not alone, Dan, because this is a movie that you will take your phone out at any point.
Yeah, you'll be like, what? It's only been 30 minutes.
It's so batshit. People are texting each other like, what is going on?
Yeah, there's like a whole thing where there's like this the city has a virgin who sings a long song, and then it turns out that she's actually not a virgin, and she lied about her age, and maybe Adam Driver slept with her, but there's like a deep fake AI, and all this stuff goes nowhere, and there's half these plot points are like either not resolved or they're resolved just like, oh well, now it's okay, and like, what was the point of that even?
But I was gonna say you're not alone, because someone in my group who I was watching the movie with texted the group chat mid-movie, Shia LaBeouf is really hot. So
I don't, he's like a weird looking even Steven motherfucker, but
now I don't want to go too into the weeds, because
I think you should see it.
It made 10 million. No one saw this, so we're just talking.
No, but I think like I saw Joker 2 the next day, and
Dan, why are you subject?
My friend had a free
okay?
ticket. It was so bad. It was, and Joker 2 was so like inert and lifeless and dull and no vision. And even though it was like maybe a coherent movie, I would rather watch Megalopolis 1,000 times than ever have to watch Joker 2 again, because at least Megalopolis, like it had a vision. It was going for something. It did not attempt it. You know, it's like
it went for it.
Yeah, its grasp was like not even close to its reach. Like it fell way short.
There is something refreshing about that, because most of the things that we're getting, it's so rare that it'll knock it out of the park. But because it goes through so many focus groups and there's so many voices who like, it goes through like a very iterative tech like process in the artistic approach, that what you're getting, a lot of times most stuff is going to be like a B-.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to be awful, but unless it's like an artistic achievement, in which case it'll be great. But
no,
like Megalopolis,
it's like really everything is mid and sanded down.
Megalopolis commits.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.